I discovered that my boyfriend was a passport bro, and I had no idea. I've been with my boyfriend for 8 months. Things have been going really well between us, up until a few days ago. A little backstory, I'm from Central Europe, and he's American. He said he settled in my country because of work opportunities. We met in a coffee shop where I worked as a barista, and we clicked instantly, then started going out a few weeks later. Everything was so good, and we had so much fun. Fast forward to last week. He asked me to help him with some documentation. I was happy too, as I know my language is hard to understand and even translate sometimes. When I was searching online on his laptop, I stumbled upon some weird websites. They were all about passport brothers. I didn't even know what the hell that was at first, so I looked into it. The sites basically had tips on how to settle in foreign countries, where to find a traditional bride, which country has the most beautiful women, that kind of thing. I was shocked and so confused. I know I shouldn't have done it, but I wanted to gain some clarity and check this profile on one of these websites. He had full-on conversations about Eastern European countries, European women, how easy or hard it is to take them out on dates, if it would be better to settle down in Asia instead, and so on. He decided to settle down in my country. I feel dehumanized and like he used me and the women from my country. Also, our whole relationship has been built on a lie because he told me he settled down here because he got a job offer. What the hell? After I found all this stuff, I quickly took a few screenshots as proof and then made up an excuse to come home. He tried to reach out a few times, but I told him I didn't feel well, so I couldn't meet up. I can't even look at him. I feel so disgusted. Am I overreacting? Was it wrong of me to look into his search history? How can I confront him about all this? Update. When I read his comments on those websites, it felt dehumanizing. They were making stereotypes about us that are either untrue or outdated. I have a lot of points about what I saw and what people have been saying about my story. 1. We have all kinds of women here just like in other countries. Some like to party, some don't. Some are looking for flings, some want long-term relationships, some want to stay single and childless forever. It's not true that most of us are submissive women who obey our husbands. Try telling that to a Central European woman face-to-face and see her reaction. Huh? 2. He told me he only came for work, and it's funny we met because he wasn't planning on getting into a relationship. Judging by his comments online, it was a lie, and he came here to look for a traditional wife. He allegedly works at an IT company. I've never been to his workplace, so I have no proof of this. It might be my naivety to think it's true, but we have a lot of companies like this in my country, and a lot of foreigners work in IT in the capital city, so who knows? 3. Surprisingly, he never actually told me that he wanted a traditional relationship. He doesn't do anything that's considered traditional in my culture either. I work hard for my own money and go to university, so I don't want to be a housewife or stay-at-home mom in the near future. We've talked about this, so he knows. What worries me is that someone online told him to start a relationship and then try to make it more traditional over time. I don't know if that's what he's trying to do or if he's changed his mind. I have no way of knowing and don't want to take the risk of wasting my time. 4. Traditional woman and traditional relationship can mean different things in different countries depending on culture and social norms. He wants a traditional woman by American standards, but that's not the same as what we consider a traditional woman here. It's pretty clear from his online comments that he has no clue about this difference. It's offensive because it shows he knows nothing about our culture and history and is just relying on stereotypes and outdated assumptions. 5. Some people suggested that my story was fake because of my English or because Central European women won't think like this. This just proves the ignorance some people have about my country. Women here have careers, open their own businesses, or learn to become doctors, lawyers, beauticians, chefs, and so on. Most of us in younger generations have modern mentalities, except for some villages. But villagers probably won't go for an American man who doesn't know a thing about our country. Most of us learn a second language by the time we are about 6 to 8 years old. My niece literally goes to a bilingual kindergarten and learns 2 languages, and she's 3, so I'm not sure why it's so far-fetched that people here speak English well. We are not some idiots who have no idea about the modern world. Most of us speak at least 1 or 2 foreign languages, usually English and German, sometimes Spanish, except the boomers and Gen X. They had to learn Russian back in the day. And to the person who said that Central European countries are basically the same as England or France, it sounds like someone failed their history class. Please don't be ignorant and educate yourself. I told my boyfriend that I'd like to break up with him. We had a small conversation on the phone, and I told him I wasn't in a position to continue the relationship for personal reasons. At first, he was confused and tried to convince me not to break up, but then he accepted it. I posted my story in local groups so other women can be aware of this whole passport bro thing and hopefully not fall victim to men like this. As expected, they found the whole thing disgusting and were grateful for the heads up. We are not here for others' enjoyment and to fulfill some submissive wife fantasy of someone who looks at us as stereotypes rather than individuals with varying personalities and preferences. I'm not against foreigners or mixed couples. My brother-in-law is Arab, speaks my language and knows my culture. We also speak some Arabic and know and respect his culture too. He didn't come here as a tourist looking for intimacy, but as an actual worker who wanted to change his life. If you go to a country, go because you're interested in it and want to learn about a new culture or have some great opportunities, not because you want to desperately lie to women just so you can get into a relationship or get laid. I can't speak for everyone in my country, but most people won't tolerate this behavior and will judge passport brothers negatively. It's hypocritical to want a traditional wife, but constantly move from country to country and woman to woman. That behavior definitely isn't considered traditional, at least not in my country. If you want casual relationships, that's fine, because there are women here who want the same, but just be honest about it.